If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
WNST Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. We are live on Radio Row, Super Bowl 49. Got a guy here that first time I ever laid eyes on you, I think, was the day of the drive game in Cleveland. I saw you walk into the stadium that day, Bob Golic.
You bastard.
Yeah, I know, man.
Can't believe you went there first.
It always starts there, but 30 years later, here we are. You've done some radio with us, and Bob Golic back on the program. You know, your brother's 10 feet away, and I still can't get over the fact that how you're so good looking and what happened to him.
You know, he was the last brother. He was the last. So evidently, you know, right in the beginning, all the intelligence, all the smarts. I graduated with a degree. I'm not sure if he graduated. I think he did, but they had to get him tutors and stuff like that. And, of course, I mean, look at him. He can't grow a beard. I mean, how manly is that? And I hear when he did that picture, that Kim Kardashian picture where he was naked, I hear that his body is normally that smooth.
But you only hear that. You don't have any first-hand experience with that.
No, I've not since he was a kid. Of course, the last time I saw him at the pool when we were kids, he was like 11, and he had very little body hair at that time. So, but I'm guessing that either he oh-knows or no-knows or he's just still a smooth kid.
Bob Golic here insulting his brother. The biggest insult you gave before you put your headset on and we did it, you yelled at him, which sponsor are you pushing? Do you have sponsor envy of your brother?
Yeah,
when you wake up in the morning, your brother's one of the biggest stars in the industry. That's a little weird.
Well, no, I don't care. He deserves it. He works hard. He does that. But when I go to my closet, I'm taking shirts that I purchased. I'm putting on things that I bought for myself. I'm not, he goes to his and he pulls out shirts that have, logos on them from, different companies, different organizations. And it's like, do you have anything that you bought? And so I'm a little bit bitter about that. But his success, no, you can't kidding me. He's got to work with Greeny.
You can fire back, well, you weren't on Saved by the Bell.
You know what? Exactly.
Exactly.
That's right. I've used that on him a couple times.
Well, it's like I joked with him. I said, Ness will probably talk football with you. I'll talk Saved by the Bell with you.
And then we both did a Nutrisystem together, and I beat him
there you go.
On that one, too. So, but I guess that reality is that means I was a fat ass and he wasn't. But technically I beat him. So, oh, no, he's great. I tell you what, we chat all the time, and he does such a good job.
Absolutely. What are you doing? You live in Cleveland, right? Back home, right?
Live in Cleveland. I do Brown stuff. I moved about 10 years ago back from L.A. where I was doing a bunch of stuff in Saved by the Bell. And so now I do news talk radio. I've always wanted to do something away from sports, just do the regular stuff. And I've got a chance. Been doing that for 10 years now. I do stuff for the Browns through one of the CBS station out there.
I've never bugged you in Cleveland. We play Cleveland twice a year. I mean, all those guys, Munch Bishop, across the board, all the Cleveland guys. I didn't realize you were back there doing this.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool.
You got to call me next time. Yeah, I'm for some reason. Evidently, I guess that's the signal of our radio station that people don't know I'm back yet. 10 years later. So, but it's,
I've had that issue.
Yeah.
But I have the interweb. I'm on the interweb now. I mean,
I'm going to do that too. I'm going to podcast or something.
Yeah, there you
go. Once I figure out how to do that.
Well, Cleveland.
It has something to do with this thing, doesn't it?
Right there, yes.
I got to get me one of them.
Cleveland is the center of the sports universe until they started playing football this year, right?
Oh, man. Well, when they started playing football, they were. I mean, everybody was like expecting them to be, this fantastic team, and this was going to be a comeback. And Mike Pettin, now we got Johnny Manziel. Biggest concern was how long was Manziel going to be out before they made him the starter. Josh Gordon's going to come in by the end of the year and will finish strong. And we just bit it. I mean, by the end of the season, we were in as much disarray as we have been any other year since 1999.
I ran into Pettin last week in Mobile, old friend of mine. He's still bald. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's got gray hair and he's bald. It's insane.
Did he give you any insight into what's going on?
He just shook his head. I mean, and this is before Josh Gordon last week.
Right.
But I'm half kidding. I mean, we're in Baltimore, Cleveland. We come in, kick the snot out of you a couple times a year. You come. This year, the Manziel thing, I think the LeBron thing, Cleveland really has had a lot more I don't notoriety. I mean, hasn't had any more success, but people are talking about Cleveland.
And I don't know this for a fact, but I would like to think that the NFL is at least attempting to get the Browns back into the mix.
Right.
No matter how they can do it, obviously you can't give them special things or whatever, but they get a little bit more notoriety, and I think that would be nice, like when you saw Seattle start coming back, coming in and seeing new people show up for the Super Bowl, over the last few years and stuff. So I think the league would like to get an old traditional team like the Browns back into it again. But like I said, we keep shooting ourselves in the foot.
Well, and we've talked about it in Baltimore. I mean, even though the Browns, record-wise, you haven't seen – there's talent on that roster. I mean, you have Joe Thomas, Joe Hayden. I mean, we've talked about this being 3, 4, 5 years ago, you go into Cleveland, you just expect to win. Now it's not quite the given.
Right.
The Ravens dropped last year's game in Cleveland.
Yeah,
it's almost like with Josh Gordon, it almost is like Cleveland's curse. It's like we can't have nice things. I mean, you have this unbelievably talented wide receiver, yet – he's not committed to being a pro.
It's like my wife at Christmas time when my son throws me the Nerf ball, I missed it and it hits the little Santa Claus statue. We can't have nice things with you people. But you're right. I mean, even though we saw this, and I mean, at one point of the season, end of the season, we were 7-4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
And with a Cleveland kid quarterback.
Even though
he went to St. Eggs, which probably you didn't like that very much.
You know what? I'm so far removed from that. I don't even remember what school I went to. I do really, but it's a head injury thing. I've been dinged a couple times. But so we were going well, and then he gets hurt. They put Johnny Manziel in, and Manziel just is horrible. I mean, I don't think he threw a pass that was good ever.
Well, half the people in the stadium are wearing his jersey when I rolled in there. He's got commercials and all that stuff. From your perspective, once a knucklehead, always. I mean, you had some wildness in you in the day or whatever, but you were ready to play on Sunday.
Right.
This is a kid that looks like he has it ass backwards from the go, and most of the teams at the Combine recognized that and felt that way. And I know Mike Pettin. I can't imagine Mike Pettin said, "I want a knuckleheaded quarterback." That's
and one of the reasons why Kyle Shanahan's gone, because one, I think he was the guy that was so heavily touting Manziel, and secondly, his comment was he was getting all kinds of texts from upstairs somewhere, which I'm sure the Browns will get investigated for that too. But so he's gone, and they're changing coordinator again. You see a guy come in, you expect a little bit of arrogance when they come in as rookies. They've got big money.
Heisman Trophy winner. They're on TV all the time. And so you expect a little bit, but you expect them to kind of knuckle down a little bit. And he just didn't. There was no way, shape, or form we saw anything. And every time something happened, he'd say, well, yeah, I'm going to get down to it. And then next thing you know, the end of the season, they got to send security after him to find him because he's not at a meeting. And turns out him and Josh Gordon were partying all night at some party they threw. And they both are having a hard time waking up.
Luke was a school teacher for many years. Luke, if you gave a report card for Johnny Manziel, you'd send him and say, he doesn't apply himself, right? I mean, literally, and I guess that was the word on him all the way around.
Certainly seems like it. And, again, I think the Browns liked the idea that they were getting a name guy. It seemed like it was bringing excitement to it. There were people who said that right from the start that he wasn't good enough for this. Usually it came in the form of he's not tall enough. No,
sure.
There's been some guys that are shorter, but they still succeed. This guy, just like I said, doesn't apply himself. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how he ever found, if he played like this in college, I don't know how he ever found a receiver. I mean, he's always throwing high on the long passes. He's always throwing behind people on the short passes. It's just it's frustrating, and as he keeps doing it over and over again, and you expect one game where all of a sudden it would get better, and it doesn't. So, to be perfectly honest, I think they're expecting probably him and Josh Gordon to be packaged up as a deal just to hell. I just boot him. I mean, I don't know I don't know what you can get for him, but or if you offer him up, I doubt very much anybody will take him.
Bob Golic here. You're here on behalf of Wounded Warrior Amputees.
Yep.
We've had the guys by. They're playing some football out here in Arizona. Just want to give you a chance to talk about TripCase and what you're doing.
Yeah, Wounded Warrior, obviously, just amazing. One of the guys that, there's a lot of guys out there to come back, and we treat people, nice. We treat athletes. We take them everywhere. We do all this stuff. And yet you've got in Cleveland, it came out last week, that a quarter of the veterans that we had in town are homeless.
Unbelievable.
And we can let that happen, but yet we can spill billions of dollars. I mean, if you took the money from that giant sign of the football, those giant Super Bowl signs all over the place, you took the money and spent for that, I mean, you could get these guys out. But that's neither here nor there. The Wounded Warrior Project does fantastic work working with these guys, physically injured, mentally injured. And TripCase is sponsoring the events. And TripCase is a very simple program app that puts everything you do with your traveling right in one place, so you're not having to go back. Oh, what's my confirmation code? I got to go back to the email and find it. I got to do this. Unless you're extremely organized, it's something that allows you to put all your information in one place, and then on top of that, you can, if you miss your flight or something comes up or you have a snowstorm, it has a button that says alternate flights. You click it, it gives you a whole list of your alternate sites, which you can click on and buy right there. You can get your rental cars. I mean, everything is in one place. And again, it sounds like something that should have been done before, but it hasn't. And it's an amazing app that to be perfectly honest, I've been asked over the years to push a bunch of things, and this is one of the things that I use all the time. It's just amazing.
I travel a lot, so it's a pretty cool thing.
It's a very cool thing if you travel a lot. Keeps you organized.
Bob Golic, go ahead.
Yeah, have to ask you, is it cool for you that guys of a certain age, like maybe older than me, remember, 3-time Pro Bowler, had a hell of an NFL career, and then guys my age are a little bit younger, hey, you were the guy on Saved by the Bell.
Are you kidding me? It's of course it's fun. I mean, 14 years in the NFL, I had no idea I would go into kids' television.
You got a SAG card, right?
I got a SAG card.
There you go.
By the way, they had better. I think they had better medical than the NFL did. But it was just cool. So no, I mean it's a part of my life. I loved it. I absolutely loved doing it. So whether it be football or the Saved by the Bell or anything that came afterwards. I was actually on a show for about 4 years too that a lot of people didn't know about. It was on the Family Channel. Called Home and Family. It was a 2-hour just daily show with Christina Ferrara and a guy named Michael Berger. And we were in a house that was set up with cameras all over the place and lights. And they would start the show in the kitchen, and they'd say, Bob will be out back later on. He's going to show us how to do this and, how we'll do this thing in the garage. And, and so-and-so will be in the art room, and she'll show you how to make a clock out of anything. And, it's just kind of an artsy, craftsy, interview people type of show. And I was on it. I was the guy that did construction, and the guy that I was the sewing expert also. Nice. Since I taught myself how to sew. So yes, I did about 3 years, and Christina Ferrara used to call me Bobalicious. Oh, Bobalicious is here. He's so cute. And I actually had some lady in Atlanta. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I actually had some lady from when I was down to CNN, some lady going, Bobalicious. I'm like, holy crap. Okay, we may have reached the point where I don't want to be remembered anymore, but Saved by the Bell and the NFL are fine.
Last thing, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Art Modell in or out of the Hall of Fame. I know you knew the man. I don't know your opinion on Art. I just want to get it.
In 100%. I mean, and not just for what he did for me in my contract, but what he did for the team, but what he did for the NFL too. I mean, this guy, there's no reason for him not to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm very
a lot of hateful people in Cleveland. They really are.
I talk to them all the time, and they're just they can't get it, and they won't learn anything because as information comes out, there's more to it than just Art Modell saying, "Hey, I'm going to go make a crap load of money." And move to Baltimore. It wasn't just like that. So,
We'll talk about it another time. How about that? Because I know you got to wrap it. Appreciate you, man. I know what a great guest you are. So they brought you over.
Thanks,
I love having you on, man.
Track me down in Cleveland next time you guys come in.
I know Cleveland. I can find my way there.
I used to have a restaurant there. Which means nothing now because I don't anymore.
Well, I'll find Bob Golic. There he goes from the land of Cleveland here on behalf of TripCase and the Wounded Warriors. Luke is here. I am Nestor. You can reach Luke at WNST.net. I am Nasty at WNST.net. We are live at Radio Row, Super Bowl 49, evolving, unfolding coverage here in Phoenix at WNST.net. The audio vault is there for anything that you miss. You can also follow along on Twitter and on Facebook. We are WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.